Game Master Tips number 4, Campaigns for Solos. Hey, what's up everybody? This episode of Game Master Tips is all about building campaigns for solos. I'm not going to get into, a character breakdown about solos. We already know solos are the fighters of the group. They're the hitmen, the assassins, the bodyguards, they're the muscle, they're the guns and the blades of the team. So they're very combat heavy. I mean, it's right there in their role ability, no matter how they allocate those points into subcategories, which is how red works. But no matter what, they're always the fighter. They're always the one at the forefront of the action and the fighting, the combat. So let's just get right into it. I want to go over some tips and kind of the way I break it down when I want to make a campaign that is, specifically for solos and for that type of adventure or session. So let's just get right into it. The first thing I like to do is I like to break it down attacking or defending. I like to basically decide first and foremost, am I going to set up this campaign to be, an attacking session or a defending session? And with solos, that's a great place to start. And keep in mind, there are 100 different variations and things you can do to put together a campaign for a solo. I'm just trying to help simplify it a little, give a little bit of direction with some key points. But this is, by no means the be all end all of this is all you can do with a solo. I don't want anybody, commenting or thinking like, oh, but you forgot to mention something. And like, I totally understand. Like, I'm just trying to give some key points and directions to simplify it and make it easier for game masters. So hopefully you can get some direction from this and some tips or help. But back to the points. I like to start with attacking or defending. And for the sake of this, let's start with attacking. So the first point, assassination. You can easily base an attacking campaign around an assassination. So a solo being great at killing, being great at fighting and all that, you can set it up to where maybe they're assassinating, an exec at a corporation. They were hired by another corporation to take out that exec, or maybe a booster gang leader wants another booster gang leader taken out, or somebody needs this tech taken out because they're trying to get his IP or new technology from him or something, or there's something in the will there and a crooked family member is pulling it on them. Or maybe they're trying to take out a rocker boy because a competing band put a hit on them. Whatever you can think of, and again, there's 100,000 variations or whatever, a million variations, however many you can think of, they're there. You can reference movies, but that is definitely one of the easiest go-tos when it comes to attacking. Think of a way for them to be involved in an assassination. The next here is retrieving. You can set up a solo to basically be retrieving, a person, an item, it could be a file, or maybe some high-tech weapon that a company needs to get from a different company. Maybe you're retrieving, it's a kidnapping. Maybe you're kidnapping someone for ransom. You were hired to kidnap them for information. Whatever it is, retrieving is another great place to start. Whatever the item or person or detail that you can come up with, the foundation can easily start with retrieving. The next thing, delivering. So obviously, if you're retrieving, you can also be delivering. And with that, you can get even more diverse, I feel, because it can involve things like maybe delivering a bomb, delivering a person that's going to deliver something, or a person that then is going to do something else, like communicate with someone. It doesn't just have to end right at the delivering aspect of that campaign. But again, it's a great foundation to start with. They could be escorting a prisoner that they're hired by maybe the state or some type of government official or someone that they want to keep it off the books. Maybe a corporation, they hired them to escort an exec to a new location, or somebody that they kidnapped or have imprisoned, and you got to get him to a secret location or a safe house. Whatever it is, delivering is another great foundation. And again, there's so many other variations and ideas and points that could be made. And when I break down just attacking or defending, these are kind of the main few key points that I'm giving that can help you with, some direction. But, I'm sure we can think of 100 more if we wanted to really get into it. But I think these are a great this is a great place to start: assassination, or retrieving, or delivering. And then that kind of summarizes the top 3 points that you can focus on for campaign building for solos when it comes to attacking. Let's get into some defending ideas as well, because there's a few points there I'd like to give you. The first, protect a person. There's so many variations of that, and there's a lot of movies that you can reference that have done things like that. But it's basic bodyguard work, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like, a rocker boy hires them to be a bodyguard, or an exec hires them to be a bodyguard. Maybe you're protecting a person for some other thing. Maybe it's part of that delivering portion of attacking. Maybe it's a prequel to that, or a sequel to that. They could be delivering someone or retrieving something, and then they get into a sticky situation where they have to protect them, or maybe they're protecting one of their own family from something. Maybe there's a booster gang that hired them to protect, or they have some type of tie from their life path to someone, and they hit them up because they know that, hey, you're a solo, you're great at combat, can you help us protect this person? So that's a great foundation to start when it comes to defending. And then obviously, if you're protecting a person, you could also be protecting an item. That's another great thing that you can incorporate in, and it's a great foundation for a campaign for solos. Have them protect, some type of file that maybe a corporation knows is under attack, or for possible being stolen, or there's some type of espionage thing going on, and they have to protect that information that's in that file. Or maybe they're protecting some high-tech weapon for a tech, or for a net runner if it's a program. Maybe they're protecting some type of new tech that hasn't come out yet, and maybe a booster gang stole it and they hired them to protect it from the corp trying to get it back. Maybe there's a twist on it, and they're not always being hired to protect the item by the original owner. It could be by the people that actually took the item. But no matter what, it's a great foundation when it comes to defending, protecting an item, just like protecting a person. And then the last point here under defending that I wanted to bring up is protecting a place. That's also a great thing. If maybe, and again, I love you can always look towards corporations and booster gangs and things. Those are great places to start. And again, there's 100,000, a million variations you can think of. I'm just trying to give some key points to help out, some quick tips, But protecting a place. Maybe a booster gang is having a hard time with another gang taking over their territory, and they're actually outsourcing a little bit and hiring some muscle that they know. Maybe there's a tie through the life path there, or maybe they just hired a solo through a merc board. Maybe it's a corporation hiring them to, hiring a solo to protect a new location they're building up. In Red, there's a lot of new construction and new up and coming, and everybody's fighting for a spot in the city. Maybe a couple corporations are fighting over a certain location, like Continental Brands, which was a subsidiary of Petrochem. They're a neocorp. They just kind of broke free from them, and they've been taking over all the Chew for You stations and turning them into Oasis stations. Well, maybe there's some conflict there with a new Oasis station that they took, and Petrochem guards are so busy with all this other shit they're dealing with, they outsourced some solos to go and protect the place from Continental Brands taking over more of them, or Continental Brands needs these solos to help protect these new Oasis stations as they keep procuring more, so Petrochem can't take them back. However you look at it, it's a great foundation to start with a campaign for a solo by protecting a person, protecting an item, or protecting a place. And I think that kind of simplifies it too. And like I said, you can come up with so many tangents and ideas and just go as far down the rabbit hole as you want. As long as it involves, action and fighting and utilizing what a solo is good at and passionate about, then it's going to be a great game. You can go a little bit outside of the realm of a solo, and they can still role play and have a rich game and depth to their character, but don't go too far away from battle and action and combat and stuff, because that's a solo's bread and butter. So when you make a campaign based around that role for a solo, you definitely want to have it at least starting with attacking or defending. Make that kind of a foundation. That's a great place to start. And then, like I said, assassination, retrieving or delivering, and then under defending, protecting a person, an item, or a place. So anyways, I hope this was a quick little, GM tip episode. I'm going to be doing a bunch of other episodes, one for each role, and I'm going to try to do the same thing, just kind of break down, a quick little breakdown of how to kind of categorize or organize your campaigns based for, specifically for that role, and then some key points or ideas of ways to kind of pull that off. And let me reiterate, this is not the be all end all, like concrete, this is how you do it and this is all you can do for a solo. These are just kind of key points that I like to start with. And it gives you, I don't know, a good, like I said, a good foundation to start a great campaign specifically for a solo. So thanks so much for checking it out. If you felt that you got at least some type of tip out of this or you enjoyed it, please give the video a like, give it a share, subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more. All right, thanks so much. Take care, everybody.